Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jael for those of you that may not know, and today's video is going to be a full face of affordable makeup. Alright, so a quick bit of housekeeping. Please excuse me if I sound a little stuffed up or sniffly. Allergy season has hit your girl real hard and I am struggling through it all. So that also goes to say I am not tacking down the hair today. So you guys are going to see some behind the scenes bobby pins just holding things in place. We're just going to pretend like it's fine because it is. So all of this stuff is stuff that you can either get online or you can get in store at like a place like Ulta or your local drugstore, wherever you buy your more affordable products. But all of these products I do believe are available in store, except for the face palette we're using. I think that in the US that's only available online. But regardless of all that, we're going to go ahead and we are going to get started. Okay, to start off with the brows, I'm going to be picking up my NYX MicroBrow pencil in the shade Chocolate. I actually use this pencil basically every time I do my brows right now. I really like it. It's so tiny and the formula of it is really nice and makes it super easy to use. So I use this actually quite often. And I like to just kind of outline my brows. And if I'm honestly in a pinch, I will just do some light filling in with this and then set my brows down and I'm good to go. Also, if you see any movement in the background, my doggies are in the room, so they're probably going to make some movement at some point. Okay, just for the purposes of just being a little bit more glam today, I am going to fill in the brows with a brow pomade, which is what I typically do when I'm doing like a full face of makeup. This is the Kokie Brow Pomade Gel. You can find this at a Walgreens. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but I know for sure you can find it at your local Walgreens, potentially your local Rite Aid, but as you guys can see, it is very well loved. I used to use this all the time. I've taken a step back from it just because I had some other pomades that have come into my life that I really love, but this is a really good one. I think also this might be slightly darker than the shades that I have been gearing towards lately because this is in the shade Dark Brunette, and I haven't really been doing as deep, at least I don't think, but we're gonna see how this works. All right, I am going to clean up my brows just a little bit because I want them to look a little bit more like sisters than very distant cousins. So I'm going to clean them up just a teensy bit. I have Into the Woods stuck in my head and I'm not like complaining about it because I love that musical. It's just, I really want to listen to it. I can't because I'm filming. So I'm just taking a little bit of concealer because I just had my brows done. So, and don't worry, I was super safe. But I just had my brows done and I don't feel like I need to do as much cleaning up as I normally would. So this is relatively okay for me. And then just to set everything down on my brows, I'm going to go in with my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in the shade Chocolate. Alright, so now that the brows are done, we're going to go ahead and get started on the eyes. For priming today, I'm going to be using the Crayon Case Washable Eye Glue Stick. This actually only retails for $8. This is something that you can only get online, but it's a really good eyeshadow primer. So I normally don't do this, but I am going to do it today. I'm going to be setting my eyeshadow primer just a teensy bit with some translucent powder, some pressed translucent powder. I just want to set it down today. I'm doing something a little bit more subdued, so I don't need as much of a pack and punch of pigment. So I'm going to be just setting it a little bit. And I just used a translucent powder from Black Opal to do that. For eyes, we're going to be picking up our Profusion Mattes eyeshadow palette. This is a 24 matte shade palette. With the exception of the black in here is kind of more like a satin matte because it has the shimmers in it. But I don't even know if I'm going to be reaching for that today. I'm going to pick up the shade Adventurous first, this top brown shade here, and pop that into my crease. I really like Profusion. I think that they make really good products. I do agree that they're not talked about enough on like larger platforms, but I think that they make really nice products, and I have enjoyed mostly everything I've tried from them. I did a video, I'll have it linked up here, where I use their Spectrum palette, which is kind of more of like a, I don't know, almost pastel like color palette, and that's nice. The purples needed some work, but I know purples are a little bit harder to make in general, and for it to only have been $5, it had pretty great payoff and it was very blendable. And I believe this palette is only $10, and shadows perform quite nicely. We have our first shade down. I'm just going to keep the same exact brush, and I'm going to go in with a shade Proud, which is this next deeper shade right here. I think next I'm going to take the shades Madly and Bravo. So this shade Madly, that's just a little bit more of this like deeper kind of burgundy red, almost like a, I don't know, not burgundy, like this deeper red shade. And then I'm going to take this shade Bravo right here, this deeper brown. I'm going to mix those two together, and I'm going to apply those on the outer corners. I love this palette and how much pigment it gives for such like an affordable price. It just kind of amazes me. And now I'm just going to take this shade Personal, which is this really pretty light peachy shade right here. Just to help with the blend without any additional product, I'm going to pick up that same brush I used to apply the deeper shades, and I am just going to let that just help to blend out those two areas a little bit better so that it's more seamless. And then again, just for good measure, I'm just going to, with nothing additionally on my other brush, just kind of sweep up here and make sure everything looks nice and soft. Okay, now we can move on to the face. I'm going to do like liner. Do I want to do liner and stuff now? Why not? Do I want to do liner at all? I could do some liner. Why not? So because we're doing liner, I'm going to pick up this black, yeah. This is the NYX liquid liner in the shade black. I really like this one. They had another one that was like their liquid liner. I don't know if it was the same like product as this, but I didn't like the old formula of their liners, but I like these a lot more. So I wasn't intending on doing this thick of a wing, but the lashes on my outer corner are actually a little bit longer than they look, and they curl like into themselves. So when I'm putting stuff down here, it is so hard to do that, and people don't always believe me. They're like, okay. And then when people try to do makeup for me, they're like, oh my God. like I said, this liner is really good. I know they have another liner that might be like a little bit easier because it's an actual pen and not like this formula with a brush tip. I think that one might have a brush tip too, actually. I don't know, but sometimes the pens can be a little bit easier. But I like this one. This one is still relatively easy to work with, and I really love it because it works as advertised. Like it says it's matte, and it is actually matte. It dries down matte. And there's so many eyeliners, even like in high end, where it'll say that it's matte and it's not, it's shiny. This is like genuinely a matte eyeliner, which I love. So for the face, I'm going to start off by priming. Y'all already know I love my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. e.l.f. is relatively inexpensive, so this is probably like, what, $5 or $6? And for the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the JOA Beauty Glow Activator Radiance Primer. I really like this. I need to try more from JOA Beauty because so far I've really enjoyed a majority of the things that I tried from there. I have some lipsticks, or I had some lipsticks that I gave to my mom that I didn't love too much. But the reason I didn't like them was because they just weren't like my style of lipstick. They weren't like the finish that I normally enjoy. But I really like the other stuff I tried from there. I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but I swear that whenever I use this primer, it has like a warming effect to it. And it's not just because I'm rubbing something on my face. It just always feels like the formula naturally has like this warming element to it. This is a very smoothing primer, but it also kind of feels like a little hydrating. Not like super, yeah, there's some warmth. There it is right now. Not like super hydrating, but you know, I'm not gonna lie, like this isn't like a super hydrating primer or anything, but it does have a little bit of tack to it, so it feels like the stuff's gonna stick better, and it just feels nice. And I do love a good primer water, so I'm just gonna be picking up this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Rose 3-in-1 primer water. You can prep, set, and refresh with this. I'm gonna be using a little bit of this. This has a very powerful sprayer, so like spray it away from your face. It smells so good. For foundation today, I'm going to be picking up the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I love this foundation. I feel like just about everybody has talked about it at some point, and rightfully so. It is a beautiful foundation, and I'm going to be mixing the shades Golden Honey and Golden to create my perfect shade. So this foundation is very like liquidy naturally, so I always end up spilling out more than I need to because, like, I'll show you. I only did like one little tiny baby squeeze of both, and I got all that product, which is a lot. I've never actually applied this with a brush before, so this is going to be interesting. So I am going to go over this foundation with my sponge, just because I love how everything I use with this brush applies except for this foundation. It looks a little like, I don't know, it kind of looks like it's sitting on top of my skin rather than like it's just kind of melting in and looking really beautiful. So this on me might have to be a sponge application only. So I'm just going to take the butt of my sponge and just, yeah, that's doing it. Pouncing it into the skin with this is... Okay, so now I know I can totally do it in this method. This is definitely more time consuming, but probably for the best. I mean, I get nice coverage, and then I can just go over with the sponge, and it looks nice on the skin. Yeah, that transformed it. So this foundation, I would say, is probably like medium to buildable. I don't know if you can achieve full coverage with it. I probably could, but I just don't really feel like doing layers and layers to try and get full coverage. So I can see some marks and stuff through my skin, but I'm not necessarily pressed about that right now. All right, so for concealer, I picked up the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I never jumped on this train and got these concealers, so I was like, now seems like the perfect time to do it. I have two shades, and I think I am going to use both for today, because why not? I'm going to do a teensy bit of underpainting, which I have been really enjoying doing lately. So I'm going to pick up this shade light beige first and just dab a little bit of that under my eyes. Like so. And I really love a good hydrating concealer. I really, really do. Which is funny because when I first started really getting into makeup, everything was about like matte products. So I only would reach for like a matte concealer. Ooh. Good thing I underpainted with this because this is bright and a little bit is definitely going a long way with this. Oh, but yeah, I would only reach for like matte products, and I didn't always love the way that it looked. I didn't fully understand my skin back then either. Now that I know my skin better, and you know, I know that my skin has changed, and I actually really am happy. Part of that has to do with like my skincare and me really taking care of my skin as opposed to how I barely took care of it before. I'm really happy with the products that I gear towards. Okay, now for my actual concealer, I'm going to go in with the shade Medium Sand, which is the deeper shade. Because it went such a long way before, I'm going to leave it there instead of going overboard. But yeah, it definitely went a longer way than I was expecting. So it's blending out, but I could use a little bit of help. So what I'm going to do is pick up my Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist and just spritz my sponge a few times. Tap off a little bit of the excess moisture in the back of my hand, and then go in and blend. And yeah, that helped. I'm going to set everything. Actually, no. I want to do a little bit of warming up. So y'all already know I love this Black Opal True Color foundation stick in the shade Beautiful Bronze. So I like to do all of my cream products before I go in with any powders. So I'm just going to very quickly warm up this face a bit because we definitely need it now because your girl went a little ham with that concealer, which was unintentional, but it happens. So I like the way that my skin looks right now a lot. I think it looks quite nice. I do want to add in a little bit of a liquid blush or a cream blush because I just am feeling it. So this is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Cream Blush in the shade 350 Flushed. So what I like to do is I like to put it on the back of my hand. As you guys can tell, I use the back of my hand a lot, and that's because it just really helps with like the warming up of products and just making sure that things apply a lot better, in my opinion. And I'm going to actually apply this with a beauty sponge. So I have it on the back of my hand, and this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I need to get more of these. When I first tried it out, I tried it out on camera and it didn't go that well because I applied it directly on my face and I was like, why did I do that? And it kind of lifted up my foundation. But since applying it this way, the way that it's supposed to be applied, which is, you know, you do your cream products and then you go in with, like, this is something that everybody should try to follow. When you try to go in with a bunch of cream products on top of powders and stuff, you are leading yourself down a dangerous path, my friend. You truly are. And so I love to just go in with all my creams and then finish up, you know, and I'm a blush lover, so I like to do this. I'm gonna apply just a teensy bit of that on my nose because I have become a lover of the blush on the nose moment. I just think it's so cute, and I obviously am a fan of the draping of the blush because that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, it looks so good. I love the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I have to say, there are some powders that are just super matte and drying and like they're just not great. There are other powders that are great, but they're very matte, so you have to be very specific with the type of concealers that you use. This powder is really wonderful because it does set everything and kind of mattify it down, but it's so soft and finely milled, and it's not on top of that, it's not an overly drying or super matte powder. It kind of just leaves this like natural bit of set to it. Like it's mattifying, but it's soft. It's like baby soft. I love it. Now we're gonna go in and I'm going to finish off the rest of my face. So I'm gonna be picking up the Tammy X Revolution Paradise Glow palette. Y'all already know how I feel about this entire collection. It's so good. This palette is just stunning, and of course when you open it up you have all of these beautiful shades. This is definitely more of a contour shade. I'm not going to be using it today because I don't feel like I necessarily need to, but I am going to be using this shade today to bronze, which is a beautiful bronzy shade, and this I'm going to add in a teensy bit more blush and this to highlight. So it's going to be amazing. So on camera, my skin looks beautiful. In person, my under eyes, there's like a teensy bit of texture, but it's really not that bad at all. Like it does look really nice in person as well. I just feel like it just looks a little bit more smooth on camera. And I think that no matter how much I draw you in because I have my lights on, you'll kind of, you won't be able to see as clearly in detail. I don't have like a smoothing effect on my camera. I don't even think my camera does that. But I do just want to point that out. So I do have to make a run today, so I need my makeup to really last with my mask on, which is why I'm going with just a little bit more powder, which I don't typically do every time I do my makeup. But this right now, kind of our normal. So I'm picking up my Black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Pressed Powder. I personally much prefer using a pressed powder all over my face than a loose powder. I just feel like it just is a little bit too drying for me. But I like to use this. This powder is so good and it truly is invisible. It just glides over the face. It doesn't look really cakey or anything. It's very finely milled and soft. And it almost gives like a nice little filter to the skin. So I like to just kind of run this wherever I put my makeup. I'm picking up my Pixi Skin Treats Hydrating Milky Mist. This has hyaluronic acid and oat acetone hyaluronic and Avione. I don't know what those last two are, but that's what's included in this. So for highlight today, we're going to be picking up this palette again and going with this beautiful highlight. This highlight is in the shade Paradise Glow. I thought I'd give you like one shade name. And for lashes today, I'm going to be putting on these. Are these actually the garters lashes? I feel like these are actually the Teddy lashes in the style garters, or they could be garters. I have no idea. But I have them down as garters in here in this case. I know like one of my cases I mixed up the lashes, but I believe these are the style garters from Kiss Lash. I'm going to be just popping these on. These look very pretty with wings. And for mascara, I'm just using the my Maybelline The Colossal Mascara in the shade Noir Classic. All right, you guys, so I love the way that my makeup looks right now. It just looks so pretty and fresh face. On camera, it looks good. In person, it looks good. So I am happy. Very, 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 very happy. I kind of want to do a pop of blue because I just love like a nice pop of blue on the lower lash line. So I'm going to use the ColourPop BFF3 Volumizing Mascara in the shade Blue Ya Mind. So I'm going to go and just add in a little bit more of an inner corner highlight. So to do that, I'm going to take the shade Gentle, which is this light, like very soft yellowy shade. And I'm just going to pick up a teensy tiny detail pencil brush, and I'm just going to let that kind of softly float into that inner corner. And then I, of course, love a lower lash line bit of color. So I'm going to just take the shade Proud, which is that deeper chocolatey shade. It's not super deep, but it's just like a nice little brown. And I am just going to smoke this out along the lower lash line. Just like that. Just very nice and simple. So for the lips today, I'm going to be picking up the Profusion lip liner in the shade Charm. This is their matte lip liner. It actually comes in a lip kit. And I'm just going to be lining my lips with this. I do have another lip liner in case I feel like I need to add a little bit more dimension, but we're going in with this one first. It smells really good. I forgot that it smelled good. This smells like vanilla. You know, I forgot how much I like these liners. I mean, you just saw it in action, but it's very creamy. It's retractable, which is great. A little bit goes a long way, and it's not drying. It feels like nice, like it has like a nice slip to it. So it feels a little emollient even on the lips, and it's just very comfortable, but it doesn't feel like it's going to budge and move all over the place, which sometimes like some lip liners like that can feel that way. This doesn't feel that way. Now I'm going to go in with the lipstick. So this is just what comes in with a little lip kit when you order it from Profusion. And this is in the shade Charm as well. And it's just a matte lip cream. These are really nice. They have a lot of nice pigment. They also smell, this one smells slightly different. It smells like vanilla, but like with a hint of something else, but I can't quite place it. Can you tell I'm ready for fall? Oh my gosh. So just because it's me and I'm extra, I do want to add in a little bit more because I just feel like it looks very like incomplete right now. So what I'm going to do, where is it? This one. I'm going to pick up my Makeup Revolution lip liner in the shade Glory, and I'm just going to add a little bit more. To set the entire face, I'm going with a third setting spray. This one is Milani Make It Last because I need my makeup to last. If you guys are on the hunt for a very good long wearing setting spray, I highly recommend this one. I think it's about like $14 to $16, but it's totally worth it. It's going to keep your makeup intact all day, but it is a very powerful spritzer, so definitely make sure you hold it back. It's even more powerful than the Wet n Wild one, but this one's going to keep your makeup intact. All right, you guys, so this is your completed look. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. I love a good bit of affordable makeup. All these products, I'm going to have them listed down below. They're fantastic. They are affordable. You guys can pick them up at your local drugstore, except for this one. This one you do need to pick up online if you're interested, but all of these things are fantastic. Oh, and this one you need to find either online or at like your local Marshalls or TJ Maxx, the Profusion stuff. That's the type of stuff you kind of have to be a little bit more crafty with, but everything else you can basically find like in store. So I do have some more drugstore videos coming your way and affordable videos coming your way. I realized that was kind of lacking on my channel. I use them, but I don't necessarily highlight them the way that I probably should. So that's something I'm working on and that I'm aware of. So I have some videos planned out. So you guys should be expecting those very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I very much appreciate all the love and support. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know any other of your favorite drugstore products that I should be aware of. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so that I can have you join this community. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. You can set it for, I believe, every video or like certain videos, like some videos, but you know, why not set it for every video? That way you don't miss one. With all that being said, I guess this is the end. I just love this makeup. This just goes to prove that you can do beauty on a budget and you don't need to worry about always having to spend the greatest amount of money. I do want to say really quickly though, before I sign off with that, please remember that if you have very sensitive skin in general, always do your research, especially if you're trying to find dupes for other products. Yes, a lot of times you are paying for name brand, but you might also be paying for ingredients and formula within that. So just keep that in mind. Drugstore makeup is in part able to be more affordable because you might not be getting the same level of ingredients that you're getting in other brands. That's not across the board, but in some cases you're going to find that. So just be aware and make sure that you are doing your research, especially if you have super sensitive skin, so that you don't run into the issue of a bad breakout or bad reaction. You can have those with any company, any brand, but I know that people get a little bit more nervous when it comes to affordable makeup, so I always want to just put that out there. All right. We're good. All right, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in my very next one. Bye, my loves.
Say my name until the city burns and the stars fade away and your scars don't hurt. Stay with me until the last